Yeah. All right. Hey, welcome to the show, Film Festival Live and filmfestivallive.com. Of course, I'm Will Roberts, as you can see at the bottom. A couple of things here today. Look, I got the clear glasses. I actually do these reader things because you know what? I lose glasses more than I lose my mind, and that's a lot. Today we're going to have an awesome show. And if you're scared, you should be because it's a film festival that only deals in fright and horror films. I love it. So how exciting is that? A film festival. It's Fright Night, and right here, it's out of Austria, which is very exciting. So the hills are not only alive with the sound of music; they're alive with zombies and dead people, and you're going to enjoy it. Uh, Before we get started, I want you to know, by the way, I'm on Instagram. If you happen to be checking out my Instagram, which is Will Roberts Official, and check that out. We're going to be on, if you're looking at me on Instagram, you're just seeing like green. And this is I didn't actually plan this background. I want you to know I did not, Chiara, I did not plan this for you, the backdrop being black brick, but awesome, dude. Which, by the way, if you look at that, I think that's their logo, which is like here in America is like rock and roll, I think. But they're rocking the Fright stuff. She's in the wings right now, and probably angel or devil wings. I'm not sure. We'll see when she comes on the screen. Very excited to have her on and talk about that. But let's talk a little bit about the industry, the people, the places, the things. Here I am in Hollywood, California, but you know, we're traveling. I just finished a big feature film in Montana. Awesome. And it was cold as, I mean, it was cold. And you should be able to see that film soon. Very excited. Coming to a theater near you. And it is called The Redeemer. Um, but a lot of stuff happening. And one thing I want to say, I don't want to start this off very morbid, but well, why not? It's a film festival about horror stuff. But my agent is like in the hospital for like weeks with COVID, and that shit is like legit. I mean, look, I don't really care what you think about whether you should wear a mask or you should get vaccinated. Just do me a favor, away from me if you are not. I am, and by the way, the new definition. And let me just say that if you're in the industry and you are thinking, you know, I don't need to be vaccinated, it's all a hoax. Okay, cool. You won't be working anytime soon because they are making this man. Every single breakdown I see for every film, television thing that I audition for, right there in bold letters, you got to be vaccinated. Fact of the matter is that this is my little political statement, if you want to call it that, but it's not. It's called respect and making sure you're taking care of your peeps and people around you. Because look, I've been on 3 or 4 different projects, TV and movie, in the last 2 months, last month, and lots of people going through that shit. And this new stuff is just like it's really catchy. So I know about 9 people. I'm not gonna get too much more into it than that. Just be respectful of other people's spaces as well. And if you're not going to be vaccinated, then go over here or something because you're the one that has to pay the price. No offense, because maybe it's just a little science. Crazy, huh? But be careful. All right, moving into the acting and industry stuff. Lots of cool stuff. I'm thinking about. There's a really good chance that I'm going to bring a person on once a week, or maybe even. I mean, we do this 3 times a week. Maybe more than that to kind of with me and also do some gear stuff and some things and some tips and tricks. You know, I always got lots of stuff going on about tips and tricks and things, classes and stuff you can do. Lots of stuff you can do virtually. So why not, right? By the way, I'm going to have a woman the name on Instagram goes by She Wolf Director, and she's awesome. She's going to be on talking about stuff maybe Friday, but I'm going to be going to LA for some meetings, so maybe we'll make it earlier or later. We will let you know. Film at 11. Hey, without further ado, let's get into the show. I'm very excited to introduce this guest. Very excited, from Austria, and we have a great connection, and she is right there in the wings. She's going to come in. But before we do, let me show you something that I think you're going to like. Hang tight. Here we go.
cantatem ravergo ceremonia.
Voll Laser. Asiello.
Fright Nights Horrorfilmfestival. Become part of this year's ultimate feast of fear. Submit now.
Wow. So, Chiara, welcome to the show.
Hey, Will, thanks for having me.
Wow. First of all, I have to tell you that anybody screaming anything in a foreign language with me holding a knife and bloody is going to scare the shit out of me every time. So,
True.
gee, I don't even know where to start, but I have a lot to say about this genre, mainly because I always reference Blair Witch as I worked for Fox Kids and CBS like in the 90s into the early 2000s. And I always make the reference saying that back then, everything switched because you can now film on your phone or you can film with a high 8 or a 16 or a whatever, and you can shoot it through dirty sheets it's called a film because of Blair Witch and doing all that like weird stuff. That the genre of horror has really kind of opened up that virtually everybody can create films. And you obviously have taken that to its heights because you have the film festival in Austria, and that's amazing. So why don't you tell us, if you don't mind, tell me, how did you start? Did you like, you know what, I'm making all these horror films, or I just like the horror films and I'm normally an accountant? Tell me how you got started.
I took over the festival in 2020, and Heinz, which is the owner and the founder of the festival, he created the festival in 2005, and his idea was to have a festival that focuses on retrospectives, like on old movies that are probably never gonna be shown again in cinemas. And
Wow.
then I think it was his first or second year where people came up to him and asked him if they could actually submit some movies that they
Oh,
produced. Um, and this is where it all started, like with the submissions, and the people uh, brought us their independent movies. And yes, that's like when we started to actually kind of get away from the retrospective to a horror film festival.
oh,
Exactly.
yeah. So,
And yes, like
and
2 years ago, I
yeah,
took
how
over
did you
from
get
Heinz.
involved? I know we have somewhat of a delay, and I apologize just because that is the beauty of the internet, and depending on what your Wi-Fi is like right now. But how did you? What was the moment that you basically went, "Oh, I'm in. Let's do it." What happened? Was it like at a bar or a horror film? How'd that happen?
No, nothing at all. Actually, Heinz was looking for someone to do the social medias for him and his homepage.
Oh,
And that's where like a friend of mine called me and told him he's looking for someone taking care of all that stuff. And yeah, so I took over the social media and the homepage first. And
oh,
then like it was some weeks or month later that he told me that he actually wants to like pass on the torch to someone, with new ideas and everything, and he wants to like get creative himself and do film again and write some scripts, and he just ain't got no time for that while doing the Fright Nights Horror Film Festival. So then I was actually thinking a lot about if I should do it, because I know it's a lot of work.
Right. A lot
Um,
of work. Yeah.
yes, but yeah, here I am.
And here you are. So let me ask you: did you start off before this? Were you doing just? Were you a social media expert person or whatever? And then you went, "Hey, this is great," because it is quite a difference. It is quite a difference from just doing a regular thing, because you are totally engulfed in all of the the PR, the setting up the event. I mean, what were you doing before this?
I'm actually from the theater. I've been doing the director's assistance. I'm not
Oh,
sure how you call it in English.
yeah, you
And
call it.
then I changed to like what I'm doing now, and what I did back then was doing concert planning, like all the things. So organization is and structuring is like what I do for a living as well.
Oh,
So
okay.
actually, it wasn't. I mean, it's something different, like to do a music festival and to do a horror film festival, of course. But like it wasn't like a totally new thing to me.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, again, you said social media and you started with that. So obviously you're organized and you're putting all that stuff together. Has it, I mean, you kind of started on a glitch with COVID and all that stuff going on. How has that affected the festival?
In 2020, we actually were not able to do the
In
festival
person?
as we're used to,
Yeah.
because you couldn't plan anything. It was like
Right.
you were planning something, then tomorrow government would say that we're
Yeah.
going
You're
back to
shut down.
lockdown. Yes, exactly. And so we actually did a little open air in
Oh,
2020, and last year in 2021, which was my first festival. We were like waiting so long to get the final date. It was, I think, August, at the end of
wow.
August, and we had it was all very, but like very close, but we wanted it to happen, and so we all worked really, really hard
Oh, I bet. Well, let
to
me
go
ask
for
you a
it.
question. Let me ask you a question, and that question is the actual film festival has been around how long?
Since 2005,
Okay,
so
so it's
17
been there a
years.
while.
Yeah.
It's been there a while. With that being said, what sort of numbers are you getting about people submitting? I mean, I imagine in the beginning it was a few, and now what are you up to? What was your last count on submissions?
It was actually pretty crazy, because we had the submission going on our homepage, and I also set up the Film Freeway
Right,
account.
right, right.
And like in the first 2 or 3 weeks was a bit little, like we had like 1 or 2 or 3 submissions, and then suddenly there was a time when it blew up, and we all couldn't believe it. There were so many submissions coming in. We had like I think it was 70 to 80 submissions, like short films and feature
Yeah.
films, and this was something that we didn't expect.
Yeah. Well, I have to say I'm surprised that you wouldn't expect that, because I would say that if you ask 100 people and they were somewhat connected, maybe either theater or they were TV or something like that, if you ask them, I bet you at least 90% of them would say, "Oh yeah, I made a horror film when I was a kid." Or I made one when I was a teenager, and it was the Attack of the Killer Spaghetti. Or the point is that
Yeah.
I mean, look, I'm a little older here, and I can tell you that I used to watch Friday night creature features, and we were watching Abbott and Costello, and we were watching, some. Tell you what, when back in the '70s, when I was a little kid, they had some of those cult films that were scary. I mean, like out in the mountains, and they were like vampires, and they were legit, and they were like, and they're hospitals, and that was, in my opinion, that's kind of the era, the time where horror films were really going from Abbott and Costello to Exorcist. and they really changed the face of horror films. Whereas, late '70s sci-fi and Star Wars and all that stuff was changing sci-fi because of special effects. But horror films they're not only iconic in our society, but they're really kind of a time stamp. A lot of times you can tell people like, "Hey, tell me as a kid, what was your favorite horror film? What was the first horror film you saw? What was?" And a side note, as a professional clown, I hate when people say "it" because not every clown is evil. Anyway, but yeah, but anyway, horror films are really part of our cultures.
True. Yes.
Do you think that are you seeing, because I bet you have to sit and watch a lot of this stuff, are you seeing that people are trying new things? Are you feeling like they're going old school? Are they doing a little bit of both? Is there anything that's interesting, trending in the world of haunted films?
And this is something that's for me like a really cool thing now that I got the Horror Film Festival, because before it I've always loved horror. I've watched a lot of movies, and then there was a time where I thought I've seen everything, and horror, it's all just mainstream and nothing can shock me anymore.
Yeah.
And then we went through the submissions last year, and I'm always watching like every film, and there are so many good ideas. People are still rethinking things, overthinking, and remodeling, and that's really great.
Yeah.
Like,
do you have in your how long is the festival? How many days?
It's 4 days. Like, we start on Wednesday, and we will end with the award ceremony on Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah, and are you do you have sessions like breakout sessions and stuff like that? And I mean, do you have things that people? Well, I'm trying to give you your Instagram. All of a sudden, it got really big and frightening. Do you have as well? Do you have like directors talking and breakout sessions and stuff like that? Tell us a little bit about the actual, festival.
Yeah, we do. We have. Like, if you're as a director or as an actor are attending the festival, you have the chance to do a Q&A, and after your film, talk to the audience, and that's also pretty nice because we're all like a smaller festival, not too small, but still familiar. So the audience can meet the actors and the directors and everything, and it's all they're getting to talk a lot, and it's something that I really appreciate about it.
Yeah. What about online? Are you doing any stuff online at all?
What do you mean by?
Is the festival also online?
No, we're only doing the festival in presence at like it's in the near of Linz, in person, right?
Yeah, in person.
In the Hollywood Megaplex.
Okay.
Blue City, it's called.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? I want to show. I think you told me that this is last year's winner or this year's winner. I'm not really sure. What is the status? Which one is it? This year's or last year's? The one we're going to watch?
It was last year's, 2021.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Take a look at this. I think you're going to enjoy it. Check it out.
Is that a lady I hear?
How come everybody's preaching? Not even my grandma's such a pain in the ass. Talking about grandmas.
You want this. You chose this.
Okay, as much as I want to show the whole thing, I think, is there any way that this can be seen through the site or anything?
No, you unfortunately can't see the whole short movie, the whole short film. But maybe the director will like put it on somewhere. I'll let you know.
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
And it's totally watchable.
Yeah, it looks. It looks. I was like, oh gosh, I was just cutting some celery. Oh gosh.
Exactly, and maybe this is to be said that Escalation was the winner of our best mutilation scene.
And we didn't see that part. But look, I want you
Right.
to go, of course, to fright.nights.festival on Instagram. Check out everything that they have to offer. We're not leaving you yet. You're not going anywhere. But I wanted to just not show the whole thing, maybe a little bit of suspense. But definitely for you all out there watching this, I want you to go and try to see if you can find this anywhere. And I'm sure that you post all your winners and everything on the site, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I looked at the site. I loved it. I tried to pull the logo that you have, which is awesome, but I couldn't do it without having to do a lot of like pulling out the background. And I wanted to do it. You can put it in your situation, but let me take a small break. Do you mind? Can you stick around with me a little bit?
All right, sure.
Okay, hang tight. I'm going to go to a little bit of a commercial break here. I want to show you all something that I think is pretty cool. Check it out. So here's the situation. This is called Line, and a good friend of mine, Jarrett, I just had a session with Jarrett literally about an hour ago on something he calls overlays. And it's this really great technique for actors to be able to sort of overlay. I mean, it's absolutely brilliant. I'll talk about that one next show, but this one is called Line, and it is a way to get your lines down. I love it. Memorization. Actors are always wondering, how do you accomplish this? And he has a session that he does. He will do a large group Zoom if we put it together. But right now, if you go to filmfestivallive.com, that's filmfestivallive.com, you can actually see this on the right-hand side and click it and do a private coaching with him. It's really inexpensive, and he'll take you through this whole process of, I'll give you a hint if you know anything that's called, the process called Sherlock Holmes' Mind Palace, then you know a little bit about this line system, and it's fucking brilliant. I'm seriously telling you that I've had many auditions with like 4 or 5 pages, and then I implement this line thing, and I've had them down in a matter of about a half an hour. And I'm just telling you that this is an amazing system. You should check it out. So go to our website, filmfestivallive.com. Check out Jared's stuff. He has a few things in there he does. And he's the most gracious, wonderful guy. He is brilliant. And I think this along with the overlays that he's talking about, and also an NLP thing, which is neuro-linguistic programming for actors, will blow your mind and give you the tools you need to, yes, maybe even get in the alphabet of acting, A-lister, if you follow these things, because he is pretty brilliant. So there that is. Hey, so one of the things I wanted to say is, and ask you about the program, by the way, again, we were talking to Chiara Kamnik. Kamnik? It is Kamnik?
Yes, Kamnik,
Make
right.
sure I say it right. And what nationality are you?
I'm Austrian.
Austrian. Okay, that's cool. And so with that being said, and by the way, my DNA, my roots go back to Austria, so there it is.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a good thing. So one thing I wanted to ask you is that the types of film, I mean, obviously it's horror, but do you have a category for smartphone? Because that's a pretty big deal. I mean, this is my 13 Plus Pro Max, and I got gimbals and all kinds of stuff. And I'm wondering, do you have a category for iPhones or phones?
No, we don't have a category for iPhones or phones.
But you
what
just
we
throw them
do-
into the mix.
right.
Okay.
We do like what we want to do is support independent film productions as well as like more professional films, but our heart is totally with amateur and independent movies.
Sure.
And that's where we want to go to. And we do have, like, you've probably seen it, some awards that you can win when you submit.
Yes.
Not sure if I should tell you more about it.
Sure.
We have 6 categories.
Yeah.
You can win like the best film, best short film, best actress, best actor, best mutilation scene, and the Trash Award.
The what award?
Trash.
Trash?
Trash.
Like
trash movies?
oh, what? Oh,
Trash.
like garbage?
Trash. Like trash films.
What is that? What's a trash film?
Yeah, what is a trash film? Now you got me. This is actually,
Wait,
it's such a hard question.
I'm not supposed to stump the director of the festival. What's a trash? You mean like? Are you saying TRASH?
TRASH, right?
Okay. Now I thought maybe at one point you were just saying thrasher movie, but you're not. You're saying
No.
trash movie, like it just deals with garbage, or it's really bad.
No, it's just, it's like a hard thing, and maybe some people will hate me for it. I'm saying that, but usually trash films are made with a low budget. So if you have a low budget, you can do
They're
like a lot of
they're
things,
schlocky.
and then and then it looks bad in the end. But
yeah, well, I would say if you think about it, here's a good version. And by the way, it's a cult movie, is Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. I mean, that is the schlockiest, like funkiest, like they're rolling tomatoes and making props out of like whatever. And they probably spent $2 on that. And now it's like an iconic horror film. And it's just so stupid, but it's also... It's not really very scary, but
no.
But I get it. So that might be considered a trash film,
right? Like for example, here, if I could just hold on to the camera, this is a Batman with good behavior, and wait up, he actually won last year's Trash Award, and yeah, you can see like by the thing, it's this really great movie. It's in German, unfortunately. I would love everyone to watch it, but I think they got English subtitles now. So
well, I'm part German. I know a little bit of German too, so we're all good. And honestly, I have to be honest with you. If I see a German speaking person with a knife, it might scare me more than an Austrian person speaking.
Probably, yeah. Germans are more scary.
I ask about that, and I'm glad that you pointed out that you're going after the independent filmmakers, the people that look. I mean, 10 to 20 years ago, ain't nobody that was making films that was on phones. First of all, they weren't making them. A lot of them, the magnitude or the amount of people making films is so much lower. And now, literally anybody can make a film. It's not just you see the life story of like a Spielberg or a whoever, and you see like as a kid, this is the movie they made, and it's all. Now it's kind of like I have a 7 and 11-year-old. I have an 11-year-old daughter that they're all making movies on the iPhones that, I got them, and I'm all good with that. And they're trying to be clever, which is wonderful because it's a creative outlet. But so I'm glad that you all are really not pandering, but what's the word I'm looking for? You're helping out every scale of person from no dollar to whatever dollar. That's great.
Exactly. Yes.
And then obviously a little bit of education. I'm going to show you something that I pulled up while you were before you came on the show. I produced this. I used to work for a company that did a lot of kids casting out of Latvia. And anyway, I produced a lot of these things, and they go, we need something to do a contest with to do horror film, because at the time, I forgot the name of the TV series, but you'll see it, I think, in this promo. I shot this on an iPhone 8 Plus, or maybe it was my 11. I think it was an 8 Plus. And I shot this and edited it all on the phone with overlays, and then brought it in Final Cut and did some final things. But I want you to watch this, everybody, because this was done on an iPhone, and I want you to check this out. Hang tight. I'm going to go to the movie part here. I'm going to go like your demo here. Hold on one second. Let me find it. And I want you to watch this, everybody. As actors, we're asked to play and be all types of characters.
Sometimes it's multiple characters.
And with Mindhunter Season 2 shaping up to be the hottest show this season, we asked our followers if they would play a serial killer. 90% said yes. Show us.
Yeah, 5 lucky winners win an all-casting premium membership for the year. They can do it. You're off the hook. Send us a 15 to 30-second video of you and how you play a serial killer. Send it to stories@allcasting.com. Deadline, August 31st. Midnight! Get out of my way!
Winners will be announced on September 3rd on our Facebook page. This contest applies to U.S. residents only. Applicants must be 18 years or older. This contest is not affiliated with Facebook, Mindhunter, or Netflix.
So the bottom line is that even though that was a promo, there's no reason I couldn't have hacked off the end and I took out the VO and just kept in the other stuff. And I say this to people, and I want you to confirm this for me, if you can, Chiara, is that anybody can do this. And that's the beauty of what you're doing and why you're doing it, don't you think?
Right. Like, it's great that you can, it just takes a smartphone and you can actually produce a movie, and it's really cool. And you don't need like a lot of equipment and everything, or like softwares that cost a lot of money. So totally true.
Yeah, interesting when you say software, because there's a program called DaVinci, which is DaVinci is trying to be, well, I think they've done that, but it's like a Final Cut or a Premiere, and they give it away free. It's literally free. You just have to sit there and learn how to do it. And look, I'm telling you, actors out there and filmmakers, but mainly actors, is that if you want to get noticed, you want to do things, you want people to see your best work, create it and bring it to the film festivals. I mean, Sal, my partner, oprime.tv, we market 8,000 to 10,000 film festivals. And the fact of the matter is that anybody can join these or get into these film festival, what's it called? Film Freeway, and you can submit. And I've done that on some shorts that I've done, shot on an iPhone. And, it brings you recognition. Plus, it helps you create these things. And that's pretty cool. So I want you just to close out by telling me anything that I might have missed. Can you think of anything I might have missed? By the way, fright.nights.festival on Instagram, so check that out. Chiara, can you tell me anything else you can think of that I might have missed?
Yes, we are rolling again this year, hopefully. If Corona is not, you never know. It's terrible. Like, we were actually supposed to get the date in January, but that's probably won't happen because, hopefully it will be February, but we will roll again in October. We'll be there again on our 4-day horror trip with awesome movies, and we'll start our call for entries on the 1st of April. And no, it's not a April Fool's joke, so just come on over and submit your movies. We would be pleased to watch them, and we do have a jury that will take care of your films.
That's great. And I think what we'll do, I'm actually kind of excited to find out that you have that your submissions start like soon, and it's not done. A lot of times we'll talk to festivals and they go like, no, we're no more and we're done. Because I might actually take that and repurpose and turn it into something kind of fun just to submit it, just because you're literally, I think, the only or the first, and I've done a lot of interviews, the first film festival only for horror. So I'm very excited. And the last question I have to ask you is, have you ever acted? Because you look like an actor.
No, I've actually always
I think I stumped you. You went,
No. I've always been off stage, and I've always been working behind the stage for other people. I've been singing a while, so I have been on stage, singing, but I'm a totally bad actor. Would be like totally English, whenever I would do something.
I don't think that's true. I think maybe you don't have the confidence right now, but you look like you could be a horror film person.
Oh, wow. What about a scream queen?
There you go. That's what they call it, right? A scream queen, right? That's awesome.
Yeah, but I would probably be the one to, kill everyone.
There you
Everyone.
go. And I'd lose my voice while I'm screaming. So there it is.
Right.
Yeah. Chiara Kamnik, of course, you're looking right here, the Friday Night Film Festival. I'm sorry, let me put this in here. I haven't used it, so I'm going to. There you are. You are the festival director for Fright Nights Horror Film Festival in Austria. And you did see at the very top, you can see that you can check her out on Instagram. But let me ask you, I think it's frightnightsfestival.com. Oh, I'm sorry, AU, right? Is it,
It's frightnights.eu, right? Yes, EU.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I like the way you say you. You're saying ooh. AU.
EU. Yeah, Euro EU. Yeah.
AU. AU.
EU. Exactly.
That's
EU.
awesome. That was a little frightening.
There we go.
I'm not kidding. That was frightening. All right. Appreciate you coming on the show. I really do. You're awesome. And I guess, I would say to you that when you all are in full swing, if you want to come back on and talk about it, and maybe before the last week of, submissions are closed, and we can get people in there and get as many film festivals as we can. I'm sorry, film in the festival as we can. Let us know. You keep us in line with everything that's going on. Okay.
Yes, I'll surely do so.
All right, cool.
So thanks for talking to me. It was a lot of fun.
You too. And don't go anywhere. I'm just going to close this up, and then I'm going to come back to you and say goodbye officially. Stand by.
Right.
All right, everybody. Hey, that is the show, and I hope you had a great time. I love this genre, and it makes me think of kind of my childhood a little bit, because I grew up in that time where a lot of horror films were out there, and all the weird bloody stuff, and then it moved into like Exorcist and all the really crazy stuff. And I think in the 90s they started actually physically you could watch them cutting off heads, because I keep thinking of that movie, like, is it Seven or something like that, where I forgot who it was in it, and like the head in the box in the end, and like, oh God. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Hope you found some good information here to help you, and most of all, motivate you to do something. Because, every year we go, oh, it's New Year's resolution. I'm going to do this and do that and everything. But, fact of the matter is that I want you to do me a favor this year for 2022 is get off your ass and actually do something, and don't just talk about it. Don't get on the phone. If you find yourself getting on the phone, talking to your friends going, oh, yeah, come on. I mean, they did this and I didn't get this and you're wasting your time. So stop wasting your time. Get out there, grab your phones, grab whatever you want, grab whatever you have. It doesn't matter. The quality, honestly, doesn't totally matter all the time. So go out there and do it. Have a great time. And if you have any questions, come back to us, Film Festival Live. I'm Will Roberts. Go out there, have fun, and be successful. See you soon.